Hi guys, Jenny from G2G Coaching here. Today we're going to be going over how we can train our core and why it's beneficial in a sport setting. So what we're going to be doing is trying to train anti-movements here. So the reason we do this is because the natural role of our core is to resist movement rather than create movement. So the reason this will be good in any sporting setting is because you want to pretty much be moving force from one point in your body to another part of your body. And if you've got a weak core, it almost leaks out force and energy. So having a strong core that can resist excess movement is going to give us that strong base so that we can transfer force from one point of our body to another point in the most efficient and fast way. So if you have a weak core, this will just mean that movements will be slower, force you won't be as powerful, and changes the direction, things like that, swings or pushes will be less forceful. Another reason that having a good stable core is great for reducing risk of injury. It just reduces the likelihood of wear and tear on joints. Usually you'll find if you have a bit of a weak core, you'll have a sore back or you'll have maybe some hip pain or issues, and they usually transfer down towards knees or other joints in your body. So obviously if you're working in a sporting environment, you want to try and reduce that as much as possible, and you want to give yourself the best opportunity to produce the most force and be as efficient when you're moving as possible. So today we're going to go over 3 anti-movements. Now these are flexion, so when you're moving side to side like this, extension, so when you're moving kind of back and forth, and then rotation, obviously twisting. So what we want to do is train our core to resist these 3 types of movement and be able to control. So then when you're in your sporting setting, you can either do this with the control that you're needing through your core, or you can resist excess movement. Okay, so first movement we're going to go over is the anti-lateral flexion. So this is when you want to basically get something that's going to be pulling you over to one side, and we're going to try and resist moving like that. So you want to stay upright and stay in the position as much as possible. So you want to grab yourself a weight. You want this weight to be fairly heavy so that you feel it pulling you over to one side. If you were to let the weight do what it wanted to do, it'd be pulling you over here. And our aim for this exercise is to stop that happening. So what you need to do, engage the opposite side of your core, squeeze your bum, squeeze your core, and stay nice and stable. So you can do marches or you can do carries. So I'm going to do a march here. So with the carries or the marches, what you're going to do is you're going to want to hold this here, nice and stable. Use your core, use your glutes, and feel your lats engaged to help you hold the dumbbell actively. Okay. So then for the march, what you're going to do is you're going to lift one leg up and just march on the spot. So the aim here is to resist this pulling you over to this side and resist any weight transfer when you're changing from leg to leg. So now we move on to anti-extension. So this is basically us wanting to resist the movement of our hips shifting forward and opening up through the front of our body. Okay, so this is similar to what you would do in a plank. That is an anti-extension exercise. What we're going to do today is a prone hold walkout. Start in a tall kneeling position, then walk out to your prone hold position here. Okay, so from there, what you want to do is make sure you've got a neutral ribcage and pelvis position and that you're not bending already through your back. And then to challenge this further, we're going to take little walks out with our hand until you get to this position. Still trying to maintain that core position. Okay, so that brings us on to the third exercise, which is going to be a pallet press. Now, this is for anti-rotation, so it's going to stop us from rotating either way. Okay, so what you're trying to do is you're going to stand with your feet hip width apart or slightly wider. Grab a cable. You can also use this with a resistance band attached to a pole or a door handle or something. But you want to grab this, bring it to mid-body so there's tension on the band or the cable. Hold it with your other hand and clasp. You want to have this kind of opposite your sternum, so kind of right opposite your chest. So then you're going to just push out to this position and then repeat. Okay, like so. So for the muscles that you want to be feeling when you're doing this, is our aim is to feel the glute that is closest towards the point of resistance, so the band or the cable, and then the opposite oblique working, so this side of your obliques working. So then squeeze this glute, squeeze this oblique, and then that's going to stop you from swinging around and rotating. Okay guys, so maybe that gives you some ideas of what exercises you can put into your next training session to help you train these specific planes of movement. So give them a go and let us know how it goes. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media.